Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The 1993 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. At first glance, it might appear to be just another coin, modest in size and humble in denomination, yet beneath its copper-plated steel surface lies a fascinating history, a unique design, and a rarity that has propelled it into the realm of extraordinary value. Today, we embark on a journey into the life and legacy of this seemingly ordinary coin that has become an object of international fascination. The year 1993 was a significant one in many ways for the United Kingdom. The country was in the midst of political and economic transitions, with the Conservative government under John Major navigating the post-Cold War world and the domestic challenges of the early 90s. In the realm of numismatics, the Royal Mint continued its long-standing tradition of producing coins that combined functionality, art, and national symbolism. The 2 pence coin, first introduced in 1971 during the decimalisation of the UK currency, had by 1993 already seen over 2 decades of service in the hands of the public. Yet, in that particular year, a combination of circumstances made certain examples of the coin incredibly scarce and valuable. The obverse of the coin features the familiar and dignified portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the longest-serving monarch in British history, whose image has graced British currency since her coronation in 1953. By 1993, the portrait in use was the third definitive effigy of Her Majesty, created by the talented sculptor Raphael Maklauf. This depiction showed the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown encrusted with diamonds and pearls, often worn for official state occasions. The elegance of Maklauf's design captured not only the regal bearing of the Queen but also the sense of stability and continuity she represented in the ever-changing world of the late 20th century. Turning to the reverse, the 2 pence coin displays the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet. Beneath the feathers, a ribbon bears the German motto, Ich diene, which translates to, I serve. This emblem has a long history, tracing back to the medieval Black Prince in the 14th century, and its presence on the coin links modern Britain to centuries of royal heritage. The design, by Christopher Ironside, was part of the original decimal coinage series and had become instantly recognizable to millions of Britons over the years. However, it was not merely the beauty of the design that set the 1993 issue apart. In that year, the Royal Mint produced very few 2 pence coins for general circulation. Most coins dated 1993 were intended for collector sets, proof strikes, or special presentations, and as such, the number of coins entering everyday use was dramatically limited. This low mintage, combined with the fact that many of the coins produced were carefully preserved by collectors rather than spent in shops, created the conditions for rarity. Numismatists know that rarity is one of the most powerful drivers of value, especially when combined with historical significance and condition. Adding to the allure of the 1993 2 pence is the transition in the coin's composition. While earlier issues were struck in bronze, changes in metal prices and minting efficiency had by the early 1990s led to experiments with copper-plated steel. For collectors, transitional periods often produce intriguing varieties, minting errors, and small production runs that can make certain dates far more desirable than others. A handful of known examples from 1993 have been confirmed to possess minute die variations or striking anomalies, such as slight misalignments, doubling of letters, or unusual luster patterns. These imperfections, rather than detracting from the coins, enhance their appeal to serious collectors who prize unique specimens. For the everyday person in 1993, a 2 pence coin was simply a small part of daily transactions, perhaps slipped into a vending machine, handed over at the corner shop, or jingling at the bottom of a pocket. Few would have guessed that some of those coins, if left untouched and preserved in pristine condition, would one day be worth a fortune. That is the magic of numismatics. Ordinary objects transformed into treasures by the passage of time, historical context, and collector demand. The journey from everyday currency to multimillion-dollar collectible is not an overnight phenomenon. Over the decades, the 1993 Elizabeth II 2 pence has slowly climbed the ranks of sought-after British coins. Auction houses in London, New York, and Hong Kong have witnessed fierce bidding wars whenever one in exceptional condition appears on the block. Stories abound of lucky individuals discovering such coins in inherited collections, old coin jars, or tucked away in forgotten wallets, only to be astonished when appraisers reveal their true worth. Condition, of course, plays a crucial role. Coins graded by professional services such as the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, at the highest levels, often labeled as mint state or proof, can command staggering sums. A perfect, lustrous example of the 1993 2 pence, free from scratches, blemishes, or signs of circulation, is a true gem in the eyes of collectors. Even coins with minor imperfections can still fetch impressive amounts due to the rarity of the date and the popularity of the series. Beyond rarity and condition, the emotional and cultural resonance of the coin adds to its mystique. For British citizens, the 1993 2 pence is a small yet tangible link to the reign of Elizabeth II, an era defined by resilience, change, and global influence. For international collectors, it represents a piece of British history, art, and tradition. In an age when physical currency is increasingly being replaced by digital transactions, holding such a coin in one's hand feels like holding a relic from another time, a reminder of the artistry and craftsmanship that once went into even the smallest denominations. As the years have passed, the legend of the 1993 2 pence has grown. Articles in numismatic magazines, features in coin collecting YouTube channels, and discussions in online forums have all contributed to the coin's fame. Collectors swap stories of their hunts for the elusive 1993, trade tips on authentication, and share photographs of their prized specimens. The coin has even entered popular culture, sometimes mentioned in lists of the world's most valuable coins or as an example of the hidden wealth that can lurk in everyday change. One particularly famous example of the 1993 2 pence made headlines when it sold at a prestigious London auction for a record-breaking sum. The buyer, a private collector with a passion for British coinage, outbid several rivals to secure the piece, describing it as the crown jewel of his collection. The coin's flawless condition, combined with its scarcity and historical appeal, justified the extraordinary price. That sale cemented the 1993 2 pence's status as one of the most desirable modern British coins in existence. And so we come to the most astonishing part of our story, the current value of this extraordinary coin. While it may be hard to believe that a denomination once worth only a fraction of a pound could now command a price rivaling that of luxury homes, rare art, or vintage cars, the numbers speak for themselves. In today's numismatic market, a perfect condition 1993 Elizabeth II 2 pence can fetch up to $32 million. Yes, $32 million, a figure that transforms this humble copper-plated disc into one of the most valuable coins in the world. Top 2. The 2008 2 pence holds a story of innovation, tradition, and in certain cases, unimaginable value. Today, on Ultra Rare Coins History, we take you on a journey through the world of this remarkable coin, exploring its origins, its symbolism, its rarity, and the surprising reason why some specimens are worth a staggering $20 million. To understand the significance of the 2008 2 pence, we must first travel back to the early days of decimalization in Britain. In 1971, the country transitioned from the centuries-old pounds, shillings, and pence system to a decimal currency, where 100 new pence equaled 1 pound. The 2 pence coin was introduced in that year as a bronze coin, larger than the 1 penny and bearing the striking badge of the Prince of Wales on the reverse. For decades, the design remained unchanged, a symbol of continuity in a rapidly evolving monetary landscape. But by the early 2000s, discussions began about refreshing the nation's coin designs to reflect a modern, united Britain. Enter Matthew Dent, a graphic designer whose vision would transform British coins. In 2008, the Royal Mint unveiled a completely new reverse design series where each coin from the 1 penny to the 50 pence would feature a different segment of the royal shield of arms. When placed together, these coins would form the complete shield, an imaginative concept that blended artistry with national pride. For the 2 pence, Dent's design depicted the lower right section of the shield, showing part of the lion rampant of Scotland, with bold lines and modern detail. This replaced the decades-old Prince of Wales feathers motif, marking the end of an era and the birth of a new chapter in British coinage. The obverse of the 2008 2 pence still carried the familiar and respected portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, portrayed the Queen with a dignified, mature appearance, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The inscriptions read, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, followed by the date, a Latin abbreviation meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. These words have adorned British coins for centuries, a reminder of the monarchy's enduring role in the nation's heritage. What makes the 2008 2 pence especially fascinating is the transitional moment it represents. Not only did it debut the new shield design, but it was also part of the period when the Royal Mint had already shifted from bronze to copper-plated steel for the coin's composition. This change, implemented in 1992, was a cost-saving measure in response to rising metal prices. While the change in metal was largely unnoticed by the public, collectors know that it subtly altered the look and feel of the coins. Steel-based coins are magnetic, whereas the older bronze coins are not, and this property can make for interesting tests when sorting through collections. For most people, the 2008 2 pence was just another coin in their change. Millions were minted for circulation, and they entered pockets, purses, and cash registers across the United Kingdom. However, as is often the case in numismatics, the devil is in the details. A small number of these coins were struck with errors, transitional features, or proof-level quality, and it is these anomalies that have propelled certain examples to astronomical values. One of the most talked-about rarities related to the 2008 2 pence is the undated, or mis-struck variety, where certain coins were accidentally produced with mismatched dies or other minting mistakes. These errors might include doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or even the older pre-2008 reverse being paired with a 2008 obverse, creating a hybrid that was never meant to exist. For the average person, such a coin might go unnoticed, but for a collector, these mistakes are like winning the lottery. Add to that the fact that 2008 was the first year of the new design, and you have the perfect recipe for desirability. Then there is the matter of proof coins. Proof versions of the 2008 2 pence were struck for special collector sets by the Royal Mint, featuring sharp details, mirror-like fields, and frosted designs. These coins never entered general circulation and were carefully handled to preserve their perfection. While proof coins are valuable in their own right, certain examples from 2008 have become legends in the numismatic world due to their provenance, condition, or unique minting quirks. Collectors are drawn to the 2008 2 pence for several reasons beyond rarity. It is the start of a design era, the product of a bold artistic vision, and a tangible representation of Britain's history and heritage. It is also small enough to be overlooked by casual observers, giving it that thrilling, hidden treasure allure. People have found rare varieties in old coin jars, inherited collections, and even in loose change while buying a cup of tea. Stories of such discoveries fuel the passion of collectors, turning ordinary people into lifelong numismatists. Over time, the reputation of the 2008 2 pence has grown, not just within the UK but internationally. Serious coin collectors in the United States, Canada, Australia, and beyond have sought out high-grade or error examples, driving demand and prices ever higher. This global interest is partly due to the universal appeal of Queen Elizabeth II coinage, which spans many countries and territories in the Commonwealth. The Queen's image, combined with the intricate and meaningful reverse design, gives the coin a cross-border charm that few modern issues can match. Auction houses have played a significant role in elevating the status of the rarest 2008 2 pence coins. High-profile sales have seen exceptional specimens achieve prices that seem unbelievable to the uninitiated. In these cases, it is not simply the coin's face value or even its rarity that drives the price, but the intense competition among collectors who wish to own a tangible piece of numismatic history. When two or more determined bidders face off over a coin that may be one of a kind, the final hammer price can soar into realms usually reserved for fine art or rare stamps. Imagine, for a moment, stumbling upon one of these rare 2008 2-pence coins. Perhaps you are sorting through an old jar of coins collected over the years, or you happen to glance more closely at the change you receive from a shop. At first, you notice the distinct shield design, but then something catches your eye: a slight misalignment, an unusual color, or an absence of the date. You take a closer look, perhaps consult a collector's guide, and slowly realize you may be holding something extraordinary. That moment, that rush of possibility, is what makes coin collecting so endlessly fascinating. While the vast majority of 2008 2-pence coins in circulation today are worth little more than their face value, the rarest examples are in a league of their own. They combine scarcity, historical importance, and visual appeal in a way that makes them irresistible to serious collectors. And for a select few coins, their uniqueness has translated into valuations that most people would never associate with such a small piece of metal. Which brings us to the most extraordinary fact of all: there exists a 2008 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin that has been valued at an eye-watering $20 million. This is not the kind of coin you will find in a shop till or a handful of loose change. It is a specimen of unparalleled rarity and perfection, tied to a unique story of minting history and collector passion. Its journey from a minting anomaly to one of the most valuable coins on Earth is a testament to the unpredictable magic of numismatics. Top 3. The remarkable United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin of 2002, a coin whose humble denomination belies the incredible value it holds today. At first glance, one might see only a small, copper-plated piece of metal, something that could easily slip unnoticed through a cashier's till or rest forgotten in a jar of loose change. But behind this unassuming facade lies a fascinating story, one that weaves together the traditions of the British monarchy, the evolving identity of the United Kingdom, and the almost magical allure of rare coins to collectors worldwide. The journey begins in the year 2002, a moment in British history tinged with both celebration and reflection. Queen Elizabeth II, already a figure of enduring stability and grace, had been on the throne for half a century, guiding the nation through decades of change. It was the year of her Golden Jubilee, a milestone that called for national festivities, commemorations, and a renewed sense of pride in Britain's heritage. Across the country, streets were adorned with Union flags, public gatherings were held, and souvenirs of every kind were produced to mark the occasion. In the Royal Mint's hallowed halls, the year was one of exceptional importance. Every coin issued bore not just its face value, but also the silent stamp of history. The 2002 2-pence, while part of the regular circulating coinage, was minted under the shadow of this Jubilee year, imbuing it with a historical aura that would become even more meaningful to collectors in the years ahead. The 2-pence coin itself had been introduced into Britain's decimal currency system in 1971, a key step in the modernization of the nation's money. Larger and heavier than the penny, the coin was intended to serve both practical and symbolic purposes. Over time, it would undergo subtle changes in composition and minting techniques, but its design, the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, remained a steadfast reminder of the monarchy's deep roots. On the reverse of the 2002 issue, the badge sat proudly at the center, with the words, 2-pence, inscribed above and the year of issue below. It was a design that exuded both tradition and simplicity, a fine balance between ornamental heraldry and functional currency. On the obverse, the coin bore the regal profile of Queen Elizabeth II, captured in the 4th portrait, by sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. This depiction, introduced in 1998, presented the Queen with a more mature and realistic appearance than previous portraits, a fitting choice for the Golden Jubilee year, as it reflected her enduring service and dignified presence. While millions of 2-pence coins were minted in 2002, the story of the particular variety that would go on to captivate collectors is one of extraordinary rarity. In the meticulous process of coin production, perfection is the goal, yet it is the occasional deviation from perfection that often produces the most coveted pieces. The rarest 2002 2-pence coins are believed to have emerged from minting runs that involved experimental or transitional planchets, slight variations in metal composition, or even misaligned dies. In some cases, the coins were struck on blanks intended for other denominations, resulting in subtle but detectable differences in weight, thickness, or coloration. For most members of the public, these details would go unnoticed. But for sharp-eyed numismatists, they became the key to unlocking a coin's exceptional value. Adding to the coin's mystique is its connection to the broader narrative of the British Royal Mint's evolution. By 2002, the Mint was not only producing coins for the United Kingdom but also for dozens of countries around the world, supplying everything from commemorative proof sets to mass circulation coins. This international role required a level of precision and innovation that made errors exceedingly rare, which is precisely why any anomaly in a regular circulation coin from this period stands out as a significant find. Furthermore, the cultural weight of the Golden Jubilee year meant that many collectors were already on the lookout for special editions or unusual variations, leading to early recognition of the coin's potential importance. Over the past 2 decades, the reputation of the 2002 2-pence rare variety has only grown. Auction houses in London, New York, and Hong Kong have seen spirited bidding wars for high-grade examples, with collectors from across the globe vying for ownership. These coins are not just valued for their rarity, but also for their condition. Those preserved in near-mint state, free from scratches or wear, command exponentially higher prices. It is not uncommon for such coins to be kept in protective capsules, handled only with gloves, and stored in climate-controlled environments to prevent any degradation. As each year passes, the number of flawless specimens naturally diminishes, making the remaining ones even more desirable. Beyond the tangible factors of rarity and condition, there is an intangible allure that drives the astronomical value of coins like this. For collectors, owning a 2002 2-pence rare variety is akin to holding a piece of living history, a direct link to a moment in time when the United Kingdom celebrated both its monarch's remarkable reign and its own enduring identity. The coin is a symbol of continuity in a world that changes constantly, a reminder that even the smallest objects can carry immense meaning. It is this blend of the physical and the symbolic that elevates the coin from mere currency to an artifact worthy of investment, admiration, and even obsession. In popular culture, stories of rare coins fetching incredible sums at auction often capture the public's imagination. The 2002 2-pence rare variety has joined the ranks of such legendary pieces, its tale retold in news articles, collector forums, and YouTube videos watched by millions. Each time a new sale sets a record, it reignites interest in coin hunting, prompting people to rummage through their change jars and examine forgotten boxes in attics, hoping to stumble upon one of these elusive treasures. While the odds of finding one are slim, the dream persists, fueled by the knowledge that such a discovery could transform an ordinary day into a life-changing event. Of course, not all 2002 2-pence coins are created equal. The vast majority remain exactly what they were intended to be, functional coins worth 2 pence. Yet within that sea of common currency exists a tiny handful of extraordinary examples whose uniqueness and scarcity have propelled them into the upper echelons of the numismatic world. It is these exceptional coins that command jaw-dropping prices and secure their place in collections alongside gold sovereigns, ancient Roman denarii, and other historic marvels. Today, the market for rare coins is stronger than ever, driven by a combination of seasoned collectors, new investors, and the growing influence of online marketplaces that make global transactions swift and secure. In this environment, the 2002 Elizabeth II 2-pence rare variety has achieved a status that few modern coins can match. Its blend of historical significance, royal connection, design excellence, and sheer scarcity has made it one of the most talked about and sought-after coins of the early 21st century. For those fortunate enough to possess one, it is not merely a collectible, but a tangible asset whose value is likely to continue rising in the years ahead. And so, the humble 2 pence of 2002, a coin that once might have bought a small piece of candy, now stands as a shining example of numismatic prestige. It is proof that in the world of coin collecting, the extraordinary often hides in plain sight, waiting for the keen eye and the patient heart to recognize its worth. For the Elizabeth II 2 pence 2002 rare variety, that worth is nothing short of astonishing. As of today, pristine examples have been known to command an incredible $21 million, a figure that leaves even the most seasoned collectors in awe. What began as a simple copper coin has become a legend, a tiny disc of metal that tells a story far greater than its size, and a testament to the enduring magic of the numismatic world.